so I'll pick it up here shortly once it gets a little bit lighter. Decided to start snowing pretty good on me, so making the best of it. Alright, well, it was a pretty uneventful morning. I kind of just sat here. I had the one spike came through, as you probably saw. And then right after that, it started to snow, and I haven't seen anything else. Got really, really cold. I think the real feel was like 20 something, like 22 or something like that. So I was definitely grateful to have the heater this morning. It's a little after 11 right now. My dad and I are gonna head in. I think he had 4 does and a spike come through. We had that pretty good buck that came out in front of me where I'm sitting here about 20 minutes before I was walking in. I don't know if it got bumped by a hunter nearby or what, but I think it pretty much just went straight across this field and into our woods over there. And we got another picture of it out in our hay field. And I think it's the same buck. If not, we got 2 decent ones. But it looked like it was kind of angling over towards my dad and where my grandpa usually sits. I guess he wasn't there this morning though, so I don't really know where it went. There's a good chance it kind of went down into the corner of our property, and there's some bedding, thick bedding down in there. But yeah, I don't know exactly where it went. Hopefully it sticks around the property. Kicking myself a little bit because I was debating between this stand and another, we call it the Taj Mahal, another stand over there. And if I would have sat there, that deer probably would have walked literally right by it. But that's how it goes. That's why they call it hunting, not killing. So we're going to pack up, get out of here, try not to freeze, and get some lunch, and then probably come back out somewhere this evening. So yeah, pick it up later. Someone has locked this door with the padlock. were screws that were holding the padlock and the lock on the door. So I got in here, and then one of these windows, they fall out to make it a bigger opening here, and this front window was completely wide open, so the place was full of leaves and snow. So I had to get all the leaves out of here to keep it somewhat quiet. But I'm finally settled in here. It's about almost 3 o'clock. And I think shooting light ends like right around just before 6, like 5:50 or 5:45 or something like that. My dad always texts me right as it gets close, but so I got about 3 hours-ish to sit still. But not exactly the start I was hoping for, but I guess making memories. So in the stand, all set up, hoping that that buck will show back up. With the picture we got of him this morning, the last picture was straight out from me to the north here, about 100 yards or so on the edge of this hayfield. So hoping that he's either bedded in this area or that he'll come back through here to check scrapes or whatever again. So gotta sit tight here, try and stay warm, and hopefully we see something. Well, a lot has happened since that last clip of me walking out here. I made it up to where I was going to put the tent blind up, just about. I was able to get in super quiet, got up to the edge of this swale hole behind me here, and there was some ducks out in it that I didn't see until I kind of popped up over the top of the grass there, and they all took off, and right as they did, a buck stood up. This tree right here, he was bedded just down below it. I'll go take a look at his bed in a second here, but he stood up and was staring right at me, and I got my gun up, and I just couldn't tell quite how big he was because he was directly facing me. So all I could see is that he was about as wide as his ears. You know, I'm just looking through my rifle scope, but I thought he was pretty good, and he just would not turn his head. We had a stare down for about 5 minutes straight, and then finally I dropped my gun just a teensy bit and grabbed my binoculars out of my chest harness here, rested them on top of my scope, because I'm, you know, out of hands to hold it, and right as I did that and got him up on him, he turned his head to take off, and I could see that he was a pretty good buck. He turned and he ran probably 50-60 yards here and stopped right on this hill behind me, kind of quartering away from me, and I took a shot. As he stopped, he was stopped when I shot, and he ran straight onto the neighbors back here behind me. I couldn't really see where he went in. He kind of went behind some trees right after I shot. So I gave it a little bit, and then I walked over to the edge of the field, trying to see if I could find some blood to see if I actually hit him. And as I was walking south along the edge of the field, back that way, I heard something take off, and I looked for a minute, didn't see anything, couldn't hear anything else, and I took a couple steps further and I could see into the neighbor's field, and I could see him walking, and he was limping super bad. He was probably only 80 yards away from me, kind of angling away, and he wasn't putting any pressure on his front right leg. I really wanted to shoot again to be able to, put him down, but he was on the neighbor's property by 100 yards, and we don't have permission to hunt over there or anything like that, so I didn't want to do something like that. But I watched him walk all the way up to the edge of the woods there, through the field. I couldn't see like blood pouring out, but it did kind of look like it was all red up there by his front leg, and it was kind of just hanging. So I'm thinking I might have hit him forward just a touch, because that would have been the way he was angled, quartered away from me. That would have been the leg closest to me, the front leg. So I'm hoping though that he just went and bedded right on the edge of those woods. I know my uncle is pretty good friends with him. He's a local farmer, the property owner, and he got me his number, and I called him and left a voicemail, and my uncle texted him as well. I've baled hay for him before, met him a couple times, so hoping he'll give me permission here to go after him and at least see if I can find some blood or something. Hopefully he just bedded down right there on the edge. Otherwise, not really sure what exactly we're in for here, but I'm gonna go back right now and take the tent back to the truck. So I think this was his bed right here. As you can see, the pond I shot, I was just to the right over there of that big oak tree. Or I don't know what type of tree it is, but that big tree right there. And, shooting this way. So he stood up this way, got up. I'm guessing he was in this bed, stood up and stared at me. And then he took off and ran and stood right up there on top of that hill in the corn when I shot. So yeah, this is kind of what he could see. Okay, so I was standing right about here. Here's the trees right over here. And he was right in front of that tree. Took off and ran up that way. And then the last place I saw him was he was angling kind of that way away to the neighbor's property there. So I'm gonna head back to the truck. My dad's already over there. See what to do from here. Alright, so we are back now. Last place I saw him was right along the edge of that field, and he was going that way. I found a few trails in here, but I haven't found any blood. My dad is standing about where he was. We got permission from the neighbor, so we're gonna try and head in and at least try and find some blood. I don't want to push him too much if he just bedded there, but I'd like to at least find some blood. And in the light, while we still have it, we have just under an hour or so before it gets dark. So I think I'm gonna go straight down this edge and just see if I can pick up his trail. And I think he was bedded over here the first time when I jumped him, so I'd like to see if there's any blood in that bed. But yeah, I'll keep you updated. All right, so we got some blood here. We're just off the neighbor, onto the neighbor's property here. I'm pretty sure he was bedded right in here, like I was saying when I first heard him. And then he took off, and I saw him walking across this field. We just heard 2 shots over here just 30 seconds ago. Hopefully not him. It looks like Dad had some more blood right in there. But yeah, good sign. Got some decent blood there at least. Headed in. Keep you updated here as we go.
You got blood?
Yeah, right here. Way out there. Right there. Yep. got some right here.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh.
Oh yeah. There he goes in there.
Dang it.
Huh?
Dang it.
Okay. Yeah, if we come across something, you know, if we find it or whatever, I'll shoot you a picture. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Daryl. Bye. He said he wants us to find it, so continue on.
Okay. Well, we've been tracking quite a ways here. Gone through a couple properties. We got blood going into here. He's got to be getting down at some point. I think we've hit one bed for sure, maybe two. But good blood most of the way. There's only been a few spots where we haven't been walking. So we'll keep you updated as we go here. So after a very long trek, we finally have come to the deer.
I have never tracked a deer that far in my life.
How far do you think that was? A mile?
At least, yeah.
I'm gonna trace it afterwards and
exactly.
see how far it was, but
Yeah.
holy cow. Not the way you really want it to go. But he's dead, and we found him, so yeah, kind of a crazy ending. Obviously craziest track job I've ever been a part of, my dad's ever been a part of.
What a beautiful 8-point.
Kind of your typical Michigan 120-inch whitetail, I'd say.
Yeah.
8-point.
That neck on him.
Yeah. Looks like his front leg there is pretty busted up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna drag him out of here and take him over to my uncle's to get him cleaned up. Get out of these people's hunting area so we don't muck it up too much. Try to pick it up over there.
We dragged him out of the neighbor's property and didn't gut him on their property, just not to ruin their hunting. So brought it up the road back onto our property and gutting it here in the cornfield.